Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. Back deep is Dwayne Harris. We take it right on the 30. There goes Harris. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. It's a punt return score of 70 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt. It's a great glamorous, dashing play.
Carlson now to add the extra point.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Carlson on for the PAT. No, and the increased distance may have cost him there, as it is no good. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. This will be caught by Brown. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and it's third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And some room to roam now. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They set up the screen to Penny, but I think the ball's out. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the Raiders pick it up. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime in a while. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35.
Offside. Defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
And now this pass brought in by Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, worked to this point.